know Kanye worked with a lot of people. He developed a lot of people that Pharrell probably couldn't reach. Yeah,
Hold on. Fuck no.
You see? They that claw. I thought the fight was over. They still fight outside, Bob. Look at these pairs, man.
They talk about in the chat room. Apparently, Big Sean ain't as big as fucking the Clips.
No,
Big Sean is definitely not bigger than the Clips.
Yo, push your T, man. Push your T, dude.
Push your T.
Push your T. Push your T. Push your T, period.
That's the riot word for the night.
No, don't forget about John Legend. Don't forget about John Legend.
Don't forget about it. Name one John Legend song, Triple C.
Word, name one.
Nice the night.
We live, we out vivo, we are back. You are watching Eats, Beats, and Rhymes, show that brings you out here called Who Do You Got? I am your host, Jules DJ. Welcome back to another episode. Tonight's battle consists of two legendary artists, two legendary performers, two legendary entertainers, two legendary producers. I don't even know which order to put that in because they're so legendary. We're going to talk about these two giants in the game. You've been wanting to talk about it for a while. We talked about it once before. We're talking about it again. We're talking about none other than Kanye West, a.k.a. Ye, versus Pharrell Williams, a.k.a. Skateboard P. Welcome back to Who Do You Got? Make some motherfucking noise. Yeah. Man, again, it's a big one tonight. Like I said, pause. We're talking production styles tonight. We're going to dabble in some other stuff that these guys have been into because they put their toe in everything. I mean, from everything from fashion to music to production. I mean, it's crazy. Labels, signing artists, writing music. I mean, the catalog and the extensive history on both of you guys is insane, all right? Like I said, we're talking Kanye West versus Pharrell Williams. Again, respectively, Ye versus Skateboard P. I'm starting over on the West Coast side of things. My man, the real Cool B, a.k.a. Cool Breeze. Cool Breeze, what's going on, Playboy?
What's going on, Mr. Jules? What's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
Peace. What up, Breeze?
Yeah, man, like I said, you know what time it is, man. We talking legends, we talking icons. Cool Breeze, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Mr. West on this one.
Oh shit, Kanye with the controversial Mr. West.
Yes.
This man keep his name out the news. This man picks a booger. It's front page.
Yeah.
Front page. Let's go over and slide back on down to the East Coast side of things. Go all the way east, Long Island style. My man Ike Infamous, what's going on, Ike?
What up? Peace, fellas. Peace. What up, Jules?
I'm talking Pharrell Williams. I'm talking Kanye West. Ike Infamous. Who do you got?
Is this old Ye or new Ye?
You know,
Nah, I'm going with West.
The entire production stratosphere, but you can stand on a particular album or era if you like. It's whatever.
Nah, I'm going West, man. I'm going West.
West as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back to you a little while later and find out which era Kanye West, because both of these guys have been around for decades in the hip hop industry, right? And that there's literally eras for these guys. Respectfully, I don't mean that in any kind of disrespect. So we're gonna get into which era spoke to you the most when we talk about Mr. West. Again, keeping the East Coast, you know what I mean? Sliding back down to the Queen side of things. My man, 50 grand, Triple C at Triple C Not So Social. Make sure you follow my boy Triple C. You're quick to usually throw a flag on the ground. Your race said to represent the background. What's going on tonight?
I don't like the way you say legendary. I don't know if they reached that legendary status yet. But
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this is going to be interesting.
I'm going with K West. Oh, or as he called himself, named
and then you say that. I don't know if they're legendary, but I'm gonna choose
Kanye West. And
I had to choose. I couldn't say both of them.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Triple C putting his vote down for Kanye West. I gotta be honest, I didn't see that happen. I see more gun bars on Pharrell Williams' Skateboard P album production.
I know. People be passing out that legendary status too easily.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is going to be really interesting.
Wow. So you think Kanye's more legendary than Pharrell?
Let's go on with that game.
Legendary is what we're getting at, really. Am I right? I mean, I feel like you're just kind of picking Ye just to pick him, but like...
I feel like that, too.
Oh, wait, hold on, wait. DJ, hold on. get your introduction out the way real quick. Triple C said what he said. We're going to get back to Triple C. Last in the room, but not least, like I said, for now, we're expecting a couple more people representing the state of Virginia.
Oh, boy. You know where this is going.
But as usual, Hobo likes to do things his own way. I see what he's doing. He's acting like the computer froze, but he's okay. There he's in action. It's unfrozen, but he lets it be clear, right? Lets it be clear on some Clark Kent, opening the shirt in the phone booth. What's going on, DJ Hobo, representing VA? I gotta ask you an important question. We're talking about two legends. Do you feel the legendary titles go a little too far in this particular battle? And then let me know, who do you got after that?
No, I don't feel like legendary status is too far for these two individuals, as much as I do not anticipate voting for Kanye in any fashion this evening.
Wow.
I would still say that he's a legendary. I mean, he makes dope beats. He makes good music. Let's not be...
Wow. No, the bodega's fine. They have cold drinks. I mean, they're all right, but the sandwiches aren't that great.
He's a fashion icon, if you will. Not many people can say that they have, designed for Louis and Nike and Adidas. I mean, I give him his flowers. However, Pharrell is that guy. And Pharrell is from Virginia. And
that's all that matters.
It's Virginia over.
see.
Hey, Hobo, fair enough. You allowed to stand in your place, and it's completely accepted because that's what we do here. Another episode of Who Do You Got? Remember, we do this live every Monday night, live on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join us if you want in the chat room. If you got the courage, come join us over here in the actual group chat right here, this actual Zoom call. I'll be glad to send you the link. We make something happen. But don't ever forget, we do this live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Twitch. And then we'll drop a new episode on YouTube. Make sure you check us out, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes, one word. Fellas, we're going to start round number one. We're talking legendary stats. We're talking Kanye. We're talking Pharrell. I don't want to say Pharrell. We're just going to say Pharrell. Just keep it one wordish. You know what I'm saying? Like Sade. If Ye got the yay, then Pharrell can go by Pharrell. It's all right. Fellas, it's no mistake, no coincidence that both these guys are legends. But it's also no coincidence that both these guys, obviously known for their production at some point in time before they turned their favoritism towards the microphone, they worked with a lot of the same artists throughout the years. I mean, both have, name a list of guys that have had the joy of working with the Kanyes and the Pharrells in the game. Their budgets allow so. Remember, it's very much a budget-driven game, if you will. One guy, one of the biggest, but I'm going to go as far as saying he got no budget, has legendary music from both of these guys. I'm talking about none other than the legend himself, Jay-Z, a.k.a. J-Hova, a.k.a. Iceberg Slim, Rockefeller's own, Jay-Z.
Carter.
Needless to say, he's one of the biggest in the game. And I'm not even talking about hip-hop. I'm talking about the game, period. So getting any kind of production work on this guy's project's pretty big deal, needless to say. But I asked the gentleman in the room, when we're talking about Jay-Z's involvement, Kanye West versus Pharrell, who had the better Jay-Z records? I'm not pitting this one record against another. There's too many to go through. So why don't we play a little bit of music? Something we haven't got a chance to do in the last few episodes. We've been speaking our minds a lot. We've been getting a lot off our chest. But let's talk about it. Let's everybody go around the room. Let's talk about some music that we know Jay-Z is involved with when it comes to these two particular guys. We could start with the Blueprint. We could start with the Black Album. We could start with American Gangster. There's a bunch of projects we could talk about. That's just Kanye and Jay-Z. If you want to talk about Pharrell, same projects, same involvement, and you also have R&B tracks like Frontin'.
Yeah, that Frontin' one, man. I love that one.
I mean, like I said, the thing is, this is a rare thing most of the time because we're usually pretty specific around here, but I'm leaving it sort of open for discussion. Like I said, to go ahead and say, who do you guys think had the better records with Jay-Z? And like I said, don't be scared to mention a record that you maybe want to hear or you're a fan of, or if you want to just shit on, whatever you feel like, we'll play it for you right now. What records do you guys want to discuss with Jay-Z?
Now, are you saying just as producers, or are you saying as them rhyming on it, just anything with Jay-Z and then period, right?
We're basically talking production, but if they happen to rhyme on the track, like if you want to talk about Diamond, Sierra Leone, for example, they're both on it. But yeah, it's honestly like whatever. This one's very open only because these two gentlemen, like I said, come to the table with just a lot more than I rap and I produce. It's so much wider than that. Their net, right? So like I said, this is an opportunity where you can stand on whatever hill you like. If it's the rapping, so be it. Like I said, we're kind of based on production, but if you want to stand on a rhyming hill, then like I said, so be it. But we're gonna discuss all that throughout the night. Believe that. But for now, Ike, is there a particular Jay-Z record that you want to discuss at the moment? This way or this way?
Well, I'm. That's because I voted for West, but when we say collaborations, that Frontin' record, I love that record because I think the vibe of that record at the time was unexpected. To hear Pharrell on some some R&B shit on it, and then like I know I always wanted to be a New York dude doing that little Pharrell $1 million boy club bop in that video. You know what I mean? Somewhere in VA. So like just when, and that's not their biggest. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of. So it's kind of hard because Kanye West, I didn't like the record. I didn't like the record, but H to the Izzo was a huge record for Jay-Z. Huge record for Jay-Z, and that was
the whole Cameron beef right there.
you know what I mean? So, like, damn, there's somebody to decide from. Somebody's gonna have to listen. DJs, you're gonna have to come up with a couple of names or something. Records or something.
H to the Izzo. You also brought up, what was the other record you brought up? I'm sorry, you brought up
Frontin'.
Frontin'.
Yeah, you got Frontin' from Pharrell. I just want to love you from Pharrell. Excuse me, miss. Change clothes.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss.
Play that right now. Thank you, Hobo.
Excuse me, miss.
If you give us some more recent shit, the ape shit joint is crazy.
Which one is this? You say?
Oh,
Ape shit. On
what album is that on?
The
Carter's album. Oh, there she is.
Oh.
Before we play,
hey, what up?
we got special guests in the building. Like I said, longtime EBR, Who Do You Got alumni, the homie Pindy in the building, Phenomenal P.
How y'all doing? You know,
Hey, what's going on, P? How you doing?
what up, P?
Mom life first. So
I'm getting ready to play a little bit of music. We're on round number 1, but before we even start round number 1, which we were about to start, which we're kind of discussing, I need to ask you off the bat. Again, for those who don't know, like I said, Phenomenal P, longtime EBR alumni, always represents. P, we're talking Kanye West versus Pharrell. We're talking at the moment a particular topic, but before I tell you the topic, I need to know off the bat, when we're talking about those two icons, who do you got?
it's hard because it's hard to say that I got Kanye.
Don't say it. So don't say it.
So it's hard to say because I've been listening to Otis came on in the car with my 24-year-old sister in the car with me. And so I'm like, every word, right? With
What was the reaction?
and she was familiar but didn't know the song. And I'm like,
Yeah, she's probably like 14 when that comes out. Like, I know.
I was like, I gotta teach the youth them. So then we went and listened to the whole Watch the Throne album, and it made me think about Jay, who is my goal in terms of rap. Kanye really stood, which is something I never saw from him. So on top of the production of songs like Liftoff, like that whole project, beyond the whole What a Time to Be Alive, I Was All the Way Outside factor for me that builds the nostalgia that makes it amazing. Like that album, and I was telling her, I was like, certain things you can't hear on this song, you have to listen in headphones. But I'm literally like going through the album with her. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, but who you got though?
Kanye, no, because on his own work, you can hear the perfectionism. I think Pharrell is extremely talented.
That Otis record was horrible, though. I hated that Otis record. I hated that Otis record.
Wow.
I hated that. Yo.
I'm gonna stop right here because I'm gonna present. I'm gonna represent round number 1 to Phenomenal P, so she can understand what's up. I'm gonna repeat the round number 1 setup for Phenomenal P. I gotta keep saying Phenomenal P because if I say P, I'm thinking about Pharrell. So Phenomenal P, you addressed the room. Like I said, you came right in time. It's no coincidence both these guys, legends, work with legendary type artists. Who had the better Jay-Z relationship / collab / records, whatever hill you want to stand on? And we're not mentioning any record system. Usually I'll give you a record versus another record. This is open to conversation right now. And like I said, we started out with a couple of records mentioned Ike real quick. I was going to play this real fast. A little bit of Pharrell with Jigga with a record called Excuse Me, Miss.
You can't roll a blunt to this one. You
gotta roll a blunt to this one.
I roll a J, baby.
That's a J.
You gotta roll a J. Yeah, that's why. I don't even have to think about what Triple C feels about this record. You know what I'm saying? I already know where it's at. This ain't the R&B thugging. This ain't the thug loving that he like. You know what I mean?
Too
You
smooth.
already know what it's hitting for.
That's too smooth. But that's so smooth though. Like that was a record that you heard and you're waiting to hear R&B, and then Jay-Z was on it. It was like, and then even at the end of the record, he was like, "Yo, before I jump out the elevator, what's your name? Excuse me." Yeah, that's a dope record.
Great holla record. Like there's always been holla records over the course of music. The Way You Making Me Feel was a holla record, and you're right. It usually is more so R&B, but even and I think y'all talked about this. The wanna touch one of these, wanna be with you. Like there's a holler in that too.
Yeah.
There's a holler story in how it goes down. Like a lot of that holler part is just such a true experience for the man and the woman. I feel like there's very few records that have that component that don't hit.
I think it was just to see Jay-Z do it in that style, that way.
Got us on our grown man shit around that time. We were putting on our button downs.
Yeah. You had to put your buttons on. You had to put your button ups on.
That was a transition Jay-Z. That was a transition Jay-Z. So how dope?
You say Pharrell brought that out of Jay-Z, right?
I mean, they both hang around the $1 billion.
Added to it. I got to say the music added to it. I mean, not to totally shit on the man when he's down. Kanye's a little down. Kanye's not up right now. Kanye's down right now. He's wilding.
Well, that's why I asked if it was the old Ye and the new Ye. You got to
break up with her current guy.
I'm just saying, like, for me, the Pharrell Jay-Z hookup is magic, and I don't recall the situation and where they missed. I can't say the same thing for Kanye.
Well, Kanye has I think a wider range of music with Jay-Z than Pharrell does.
He has more
and that
music.
Speaks volumes.
He has more music.
Yes, he has more music, but I'm talking about, Triple C said it best that Pharrell brought that grown man out of Jay-Z's music, right? I think Kanye has that and other stuff as far as range and style wise, not just the consumption amount of music.
Are you gonna deny this?
Yo, this record is so bad, bro. This record is horrible, man.
They were so good together, they made an album.
This record is so hard. Yo, this record right here. It's the loop of the sample. That original record. If you're a producer, you're digging through Otis Redding. There's so many parts that you could sample from that record alone or from his catalog and just loop. And when he picked that part of the record to leave as the loop, I was like, that's weak.
I agree when that record came, I disagree, because when that record came out, there's a dude, shout out to him, Damu the Fudge Monk. If you don't know him, check him out. He made a remix to that song with that same sample and freaked it. Way better than
and it's way fire. So if you know that original record like that and you hear it, no, you're like, that's the most cheapest part of it.
It's lazy. You should have picked another record.
Lazy.
That beat that you said the dude did the remake. So can you post that so we can hear it?
Yeah, I'll find it, but I'll post it for sure.
Breeze. There's so many different parts of that record that he looped that are so much hotter. That would have sounded so much better. So the reaction I felt that people were getting from that, it was just the fact that kind of underground hip hop style was being done because he wasn't hearing that on something Jay-Z would necessarily rhyme on. And then it was just them with a big ass American flag in the video and the car and the Benz on fire. I was like, what?
Well, the video was, I completely disagree with most of what you said. It was just
that's how we talking.
But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, by that time, Jay had done pretty much every subgenre, touched on different things, been in the studio, have influenced like in a whole bunch of different areas. So when we want to talk about true different levels, I think the piece of that record and the reason that hits differently is because it's where the beat breaks on Otis Redding. It stops. And when you listen to live version, so my mom is one of the biggest Otis Redding fans to ever walk this earth. So not only do I have number of originals and have grown up listening to it, but I have, when I hear songs like the Try a Little Tenderness, I hear 3 different live versions in my head. Because there's a specific one that's on a Stax record where he does the song, but he speeds the whole thing up. Stax was the label that he was on, and he speeds the whole things up, and he does that part, but he actually repeats it more than once. And apparently Otis Redding himself, and apparently he used to do that in performances. But the fact that the music breaks and it's just the drums with the got to na 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 got to.
So you just
but let's be clear. Those are Q-Tips. Those are Q-Tips drums.
What?
Known to steal. He's open about it. He steals drums all the time. Like he's
yeah, everybody does.
Q-Tip helped him. No, was it Q-Tip or P Rock that helped him make that record? I forget which one it was.
I think it might have been Pete. I think it might have been Pete.
I think it was Pete, but that wasn't solely him on that. So you should have picked another.
Like I just feel there's a better part. I feel like just there's better parts. That beat could be better.
That it was good. Now it's like, oh, it's only good because it was somebody else. The record was fucking good.
It was all right. It was mid-grade. It was mid-grade.
I never liked
Reggie.
Like
I said last week, it's the Reggie Miller. It's the Reggie Miller.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Reggie Miller.
Listen, Pete, you're saying what you're saying, but can you give me an example, maybe something to play right now for the hill that you want to stand on? Because I feel like you're kind of on the Kanye side of things. But
in terms of Jay, yeah, I'm definitely on the Kanye side because I feel like overall he gave the.
Is there an example in this? Because these guys are standing on it. I mean, Ike, I'm assuming you also are going Pharrell on this as well as Hobo.
I forget offhand by how much. Like, can you name some joints Kanye did with Jay-Z?
Yeah, like
Otis.
Like
I mean, that's a
niggas in Paris. Never change.
The top of my head.
Earlier stuff.
The Izzo. You got Takeover. You got
Takeover was a dope record.
I Never Change.
Guess Who's Back? Even though that's a Scarface.
I was gonna play that, honestly. I was about to play that in a few minutes.
That's a Scarface joint, and Never Change is an old Kanye beat that he used on one of his albums. Like, where you
have a rebuttal for everything, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Look at his sweatshirt.
You know he's sweating in that shirt.
Right here, right here.
Lucifer? Y'all gonna front on Lucifer?
Insane. Hold on, I gotta play a little bit of Lucifer.
Lucifer. I think Lucifer was a fire record.
Yes,
Lucifer was a fire record. Lucifer was a fire record. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that was a fire record.
That's a fire record. That's a fire record for sure.
I'm trying to think of it, but see, I think that's what makes the question so difficult, because they do have so many dope tracks with Jay-Z, both of them as producers, and I feel like I'm doing a disrespect right now. I feel like I should have had a piece of paper like Jules, you know what I mean, and with a list of names, because I know there's a Kanye West and Jay-Z record that I'm missing right now.
Well, that's the part about it. So I was gonna say, right now, like we played records from both producers with Jay. I know your stance, and you even mentioned a couple of records. Hope I know your stance already because you mentioned it, but you still haven't given us a record. Like, is there a particular record you think where that Pharrell and Jay, like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of destroy it?
I didn't give you records. Did me saying?
Okay, my bad. Can you give us a few more then?
I Just Want to Love You.
Okay, let's do that.
It's funny because a lot of the Pharrell ones you're talking about are real popish. They don't hit in the same. Like I don't know. That's
so.
Lore? Like, what about Lore?
So, Black Moses said, what is it? Rock Boys.
Rock Boys in the house tonight. That's a dope record. That's a really dope record. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a really dope record. See, that's it. That's a huge record. That's West.
I just want you to know.
No, that's Pharrell. You see that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't even mention that, right?
Was that?
You could play. I'm
gonna play this only because she brought up. So you got Pharrell, like you mentioned, giving the real party joints, right? But Ye be giving you the party joints, and he be giving you them.
That's what I was saying before. Thank you very much. Somebody just wanted to be biased when I was saying it before.
Who was being biased? Me?
No, not you.
Oh,
He
okay.
knows.
No,
The man with the sweatshirt. The man with the sweatshirt. The man with the
Talk about
sweatshirt knows
me.
who he is.
That's Scarface record. That don't count. That's Scarface record.
But that's on the album. No, I'll let you have that.
You have to. Like, he produced the record.
The Black album.
What about I Know from Pharrell? What about that joint?
Hola. He got a point. Hola.
That was a good one. That was a real good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real good one.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you like. I know what you like.
You see, like, there's an entirely different vibe, and you know the vibe you're getting when he's rocking with Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a later version of Jay-Z. I think, you know what? Put my vote down for Kanye West in this one, because I think if you're saying who has what better, I think
with Jay specifically.
Yeah, with Jay specifically, I think there's more. Without even off the top of my head, because of the history, because of what DJ Hobo said before, the history, and they have so many records. There's a lot of early Jay-Z records that probably set him to that point to where he could do these, cleaned up records with Pharrell. So I'm gonna have to vote. I'm gonna have to vote West in this one.
Going Kanye West, first person to put. Well, actually, second person to put their vote down. Hobo gave his first for Pharrell. Pete, you were talking. I mean, is
and Jay, as like, I think the other part of it is Kanye's energy has always been, like I said, this little brother shit when it comes to that. I mean, they had the song, which is not one of my favorites, the Big Brother song, but nonetheless, they had that energy together. So I feel like Kanye was always trying to impress Jay-Z in a very specific way. So you get a range. Well, it's like, if you don't like me like this, how about like this? If you don't like it like
this, yep.
Kanye artist, and his style flipped 4 times within his first, between College Dropout and My Beautiful Blah Da Da.
My man Malcolm 10 said Kanye's favorite producer is Pharrell. I think that's a true statement too, actually.
That fun fact.
No, and that's nice, but that's not a cheat code. I see what you're doing, Hobo, but that's not a cheat code.
Can I just say something real quick? I think
I gotta listen. Go ahead.
I think it's interesting what Hobo just said. I mean, Kanye has an idol, right? He looks up to, and it was Pharrell, or is Pharrell, and he has right to, because like I said, yeah, but listen, for all the Kanye praise we're giving, and we're giving both to each side, but let's be clear. And I'm asking you guys real quick, just because we're on the subject of, like I said, Jay-Z records specifically with both these guys, but does Kanye and Jay have anything like this?
Nope. Nope. They sure don't.
They're showing up at weddings.
Right?
This is my shit.
Go.
That's my
shit. It is.
That's my shit, bro. Like, I'm telling you,
I'm like,
I'll be in the club on my real Tupac shit with the Hennessy. I'll be like,
but he's like,
You step in, doing old moves.
I make sure my hat is to the back at that point. You know what I mean? Bring the Pac out.
Listen, like I said, does Ye and Jay have that? Is it Otis? Is that their reply to a record like that? If it's a real life versus, like what record is up against a frontin' record?
Nothing.
No. Like, that would be, but it's a Jay feature, but it's known as a Jay song. When you hear that song in the club, you don't make it past Jay. Let's be honest.
The beauty of it doesn't matter,
right?
It's just really about the relationship between Jay-Z being featured on either a Kanye feature situation, and same thing with Pharrell on that situation. It just so happens this one, Pharrell produced it and he's on it. There's lots of situations like that with Kanye and Jay-Z.
So would you say that Jay-Z and Kanye would be a better mesh than Pharrell and Jay-Z? If you look at Jay-Z and Kanye raps, so they kind of go back and forth. Pharrell is more of a hook guy when it comes to Jay-Z.
I think you're right. He does play his, but it's just he does fall back.
Why it ends up
so it's like
Pharrell's not a rapper.
Yeah.
He might tell you differently.
Pharrell's a
Well,
producer.
I mean-
That's what makes the front record even doper. You're like, oh, this little dude is
So
singing
did he
too.
rap on? Did
He
he rap on?
raps. Yeah, he raps on.
He raps, but he is not a rapper.
Yeah.
Kanye refers to himself as a rapper.
Which he is.
Fair enough. It's true. No, what he's saying is true. I've never heard Pharrell refer to himself as a rapper. Where I have heard Kanye be like, I'm a fucking rapper.
So I was saying.
That's like calling Kanye a singer because he has his auto-tune moments and whatever else.
Yeah, nah.
But you still could call him a singer when you find out that most people use them.
I'm gonna put my vote in because I don't think anybody. So I'm gonna go with Kanye and Jay-Z on this. And Hobo is shaking his head. It's okay. Next.
Listen, Trip.
Yeah,
You-
I just
you-
want to say Kanye because I want to get off the subject. I want to move on.
Fair enough. With
Have we
the
been
room,
handling Triple C?
Triple C is tired of talking about it.
P. This is one again. You're a reoccurring EBR guest. You know how this goes. I don't think you've actually fallen into this part of the battle. But welcome to your first time of your vote not meaning anything around here.
She voted already.
She
voted
did?
already. Yeah.
Yeah, I voted Kanye.
She voted for
all the
Kanye.
time.
Oh man, I was ready to show you right now to the damn. I was so looking forward to it right now. Ooh.
Like 3 times already.
So Trip, your vote didn't mean shit, but it's okay. You got it in there. It's like you got it. But
that vote right there had to be the best one I've ever seen.
But real quick, we decided again tonight's topic again when we talk about who do you got? We decided to put Kanye West versus Pharrell Williams. Deciding the first round should be set off with none other than Jay-Z, the Jehovah, aka Iceberg Slim, setting it off as the sort of connect the dot liaison between both guys. In other words, who had the better Jay-Z records? But it looks like most of the room sort of led one side, not completely, but most of the room decided to go with Jay-Z's relationship with Kanye West. So this officially putting Kanye West on the board at a 1-zip score right now. Ye in the building, putting on the board. We're officially moving on to round number 2. Don't forget, we do this every Monday night live on Twitch, 8 p.m. live Eastern Standard Time. And new episodes dropping on YouTube, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. One word. Check that out. Guys,
I just want to say, don't forget Allure as well.
I brought it up. Nobody said anything when I brought it up. Because I think someone was talking about how the seriousness of Pharrell, and I was like, Allure kind of does that for me, where it's
Allure
like,
is
it's
very
not party.
I'll take that. That is a strong, life-changing record. So yes, go 100% with that one. Allure is
Allure's crazy.
Oh my God.
We're lucky we got to see the footage. I mean, if you could find it online of him letting Jay know, like, I got like the song for you, and this is when the Black Album was supposed to be the last album, and
Yeah.
I got like the final song, like the last song that I got it for you, and they show him like doing that producer dance. Like, you hear this shit that I made for you, that kind of, and it's like it was kind of good. That's the Allure record. Again, so moving on to round number 2, we're talking Kanye West versus Pharrell Williams. And it's something that kind of won you guys, well, all of us sort of been discussing in the last round, but it's a 2-part question. So there could possibly be 2 points on the board. So pay attention and see if you get your team on board. I hope Phenomenal Pete's listening. But either way, here we go. When we're talking about both these icons, it's a simple question. Who is the better rapper? Pharrell? Pharrell or Kanye West?
Not a fair question.
Who do you consider the better singer? Kanye West or Pharrell? Again, you can stand on whatever hill you like. They both do both.
Go ahead, Hobo. Pick first.
They both do both very well. How do you want to split your vote? So you can do both of them. In this particular case, Cool Breeze, you actually can say both of them if you're planning to put one in each sort of category. Is that what you're trying to say, Hobo?
I'm gonna give Kanye the rhymes because the Miracle Whip line was pretty tough. But I'm giving Pharrell the vocals, the singing part, because he carries a tune way better than Kanye, and his albums, his solo albums, he sings, and also the N.E.R.D albums.
The front album he was singing. The song he was just singing on the front. The classic.
The N.E.R.D albums make him a better tune carrier than.
You can't forget about N.E.R.D. 100%. N.E.R.D is fire.
Again, the range of Pharrell is doper than Kanye's. Proceed.
So I just want to make sure I got your vote correctly here. So you decided to split and not keep it one-sided. You decided to give Kanye West the better rapper category, with Pharrell with the better singer category, correct?
Yeah, I'll split that.
Yeah, you know what?
No, I was gonna say double that order, but just leave off that last little bit. I don't know what that range thing he was talking about. That sounded like a Virginia thing.
Oh, he was throwing Pharrell a lot of yarn right there. Hey,
basically, I'll do this. I'll take the same Kanye West as the rapper Pharrell as singer. What up?
On a girl standing in the lab with a bathroom. On a girl standing in
the rap. N.E.R.D is a rock album.
Don't ruffle up Hobo's feathers, man.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Hobo. I'll give you that.
Kanye don't got that.
I'll give you that.
This is true. Ye doesn't have his rock project yet. Well, you could say Yeezy was sort of something like that. Yeezy was like
rock version
Yeezy was whack,
but it was because it's rockish.
Yeezy was also whack.
No, but you had a couple of joints on there, like the Falling in Love joint is fire.
Yo, Breeze, what was you about to say?
I'm pretty much gonna go piggyback off of what you and Hobo said.
Look at you waddling, motherfucker. Okay, go ahead.
What?
Waddling? I think it's a very simple, easy question.
It was it really was.
Kanye nor Pharrell is a singer by any means. Neither.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not calling him Big Luther or nor Little Luther. I'm not saying anything.
But which one did it better?
Which one did it better? Who did karaoke better about Luther shit?
But Pharrell is a musician. So at the end of the day, he has a better understanding of the musicality, of how to make things sound. And most people who have that ability, people will sing at you from behind the thing who can't sing, but they're singing the notes because they understand the order in which they're supposed to.
The actual math to it.
Yeah, this is what it's supposed to sound like.
Everything like that. He can go in the studio and mix and match and make it sound well enough. But even with that, it still does not sound good by any means. So between him and Kanye and the auto-tune, which is a much easier instrument when you use that in terms of how to manipulate your voice, if we're going to present what comes out better is definitely Pharrell. And then
Pharrell as a singer, you're saying?
As a singer. I don't think Pharrell counts himself as a rapper, so I don't think.
Well, it's not so much what he counts himself as. I mean, it's what you think.
No, he's not a rapper. He raps sometimes. I rap sometimes.
Fair enough.
Drop the mic. You're supposed to drop the mic on that.
Yeah, you
drop the mic on that.
Listen.
All right. So I'm assuming the rest of the room feels this way. That everybody sort of splits. Nobody wants to give it to one side more to another person.
Triple C don't want to hear the subject no more.
I know Triple C. Let me explain something to executive producer Triple C. You got a lot of nerve. You know what I'm saying? I know you got family weddings going on, all this other shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But you was kind of lax when it came to question giving this week. You know what I mean? So you get to relax. All right? You ain't put in on this. You put in on this.
Put in on this, man.
You didn't put in on this, man. But P, by the way, like I said, if you ever want to submit questions for a particular battle, you're more than welcome to. I could definitely appreciate them coming in and being like, that's a good one.
I love it. I wouldn't have picked that one.
Yo, like Moses said, he gets mad when he hears Pharrell's voice.
I was gonna ask, what is the chat room thing, but I didn't think it was that negative. Like nothing about Pharrell. What about his involvement with Snoop and like Drop It Like It's Hot, for example?
I mean, I
nothing. That is a classic.
I like
easy.
That's a classic.
You're not gonna call it. You're gonna say Ike. You're saying it's not a classic.
Drop It Like It's Hot.
The man makes the noise with the top.
Ike, I hold you at a pretty high regard. You can't. It's not classic. I'm hurt.
I'm a little shook right now.
So I'll say this, and hopefully I don't lose followers. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not a classic because I can acknowledge that it's a classic. I think I'm
only because we ganged up on you, but you was ready to be
listen, I ain't scared of none of y'all. But nah, that record, I know what he was trying to get out of Pharrell. I just didn't like that particular, like, there was just something that sounded off to me about it. You know what I mean? Just something. Right. It was just there was. I'm not even saying that I'm not saying that the record's whack. I'm not saying it's garbage or trash. I was just saying, like, I felt like there was just something that was just a little off. But it is a classic record because I've been in next to DJs and clubs plenty of times. As soon as that record comes on, you already know what happens.
it had a unique sound, and I think it was very of the time. It had a lot of things going for it.
Yeah.
It was very skillfully simple. It was simple without being basic.
That's a genius trait of a producer, to make something so simple that it's complicated. You know what I mean? Like that's she's right.
That can't necessarily be easily replicated, because I'm sure after hearing that, a number of people, and I've been in this situation in the studio where it's like someone hears something, I want something like this, and it's like, you're not gonna that's not
I've seen plenty.
I'm wrapping up round number 2, just like I said, just to keep it pushing. But just to add on to something you guys are talking about, we're talking classics. I know I'm getting questioned about like throwing that title around, but we mentioned one particular classic, and Hobo, I think this is gonna sort of go in your favor. We mentioned Frontin', which I asked the question to the room, like, does Ye have one of these with Jay, right? And it was specifically about Jay-Z at that point. Being out of that Jay-Z subject now, talking about records like Grindin'. I mean, can we talk about Grindin' for a second?
You can talk about all the.
We could talk about Grindin'. We could talk about Beautiful.
Whoa.
He's getting to the hardcore stuff, or you going to?
No. He's right there. So I think these two records, like I said, are very production driven. Does Ye have a Grindin'? Is there a one Kanye beat that it's like, yo, throwing that, like I mean, that's gonna be a top 5, top 3, if not Pharrell beat in his catalog.
What about Ye's production with Talib Kweli?
Good point.
Kanye West's production with Talib Kweli.
Up again, Grindin'? I love that beat too. I think it's awesome. But I'm asking, is that your?
What you talking about? Get by?
Malcontent.
You saying Get By? Because I'm asking, like, is there a Kanye like Grindin'?
Get By is a great. I'll put Get By against Grindin'.
Yeah.
I'll stand.
I don't know if I would do that, because to quote my man Malcontent, no one has a Grindin', and I agree with that. No,
that is true. Yeah, that is
only Run DMC got a Grindin', and you know what I mean.
You know what? I'll say that Snoop tried to get that feeling of grinding in his record, and he didn't get it.
Wait, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. He was trying to get that same feeling of grinding.
Go back to what P said. I think he was trying to get that feeling too. But man, that grinding record is.
Nah, that's huge. That's you know what I mean? Like,
another one that sits where it is in terms of like a very simple, because all I hear in my head is Grinding on Cafeteria Table. Like it
absolutely.
Was, it was the beat to a quarter, and like that's what
that break beat. That's that break beat, yo.
But it just hits very, very differently. I don't know. I feel like Kanye has songs that give you that swell, that feeling. So Get By gives you that swell, that feeling. Monster gives you that swell feeling.
Jesus walks.
Well, that feeling, like as soon as the beat, it's just like he has that same thing, but it's very different. So I don't feel it's like apples and construction paper. Like it's not apples and oranges with Grinding and anything else. Like I don't know, because I don't know if we could talk about any producer who has a record that hits in the same way. And this is not in defense of Kanye. This is just saying, like, I think Grinding sits in a very specific category all on its own. Like just in the way that the beat was. What the composition of it. I don't know. That's just me.
To go back to the chat room real quick, when Black Moses said he gets mad when he hears Pharrell's voice, Malcontent asked him if he got mad when he heard Happy. And I mean, and to build on that,
big fucking record.
Does anybody have anything for Happy? I mean, you feel how you will about it. But as a song,
well, I wanted to actually bring that up at one point when we
that's a whole nother level of a record, bro.
I know, but listen, we're talking about production. Does anybody have anything for that record?
You think the production on Happy was that good? I think Happy was a good song.
No, he's not saying. No, he's not saying that the production was good. He's saying just how big of the record. Yeah, how big the song ended up being.
How big the record.
Hold on a second. But wasn't that supposed to be CeeLo's song, and he turned it down?
It don't matter whose song it was. It don't matter that it is.
Easy, cowboy, easy.
Yeah, you know what? If you're saying, if he's saying with that statement alone, with the statement alone for Happy, I would have to say I'll get you next time, Gadget. I'll get you next time, because there's really nothing you could say. There's really nothing you can say to that. You know what I mean? Like he wanted that, but. I would definitely put Get By Kanye West and Talib Kweli against Grinding. You know what I mean? So
here's
like,
the thing.
One
So
Power.
Scan, DJ Scan
Power.
is in the room, right? He said flashing
Power.
lights versus grinding.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like
Flashing
I like
lights?
P's joint for flashing light. No, grind. She said power. She said
Power.
power versus grinding.
Power?
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. Oh. That's
yeah,
That's a tough record. That's a tough record. That's a tough
listen. We're gonna keep talking about more music.
tough record.
That's the one.
yeah.
Tough record.
Guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep talking about more music. Like I said, we're gonna keep moving on. But I just want to wrap things up for round number 2. But I love the discussion where it's going, and it's gonna lead into this next question right here. But wrapping up round number 2, we asked the question: who is the better rapper? Who is the better singer? It was a 2-part question, a chance to get your team up on points. But everybody split their vote down the line, so it's all good. And apparently, both guys get a score on this one, so it's a tied up score for round number 2. So this leaves Kanye at 2 points on the board, with Pharrell with 1. Moving on to round number 3. We're talking about what these guys do on the production side of things, right? With that being said, both of these individuals also stepped into the game with their own labels. They decided to introduce new talent to the world via their own little hubs, one called Star Trek, the other one called Good Music. So let's talk about both these guys' A&R ears, if you will, all right? As label and owners / producers of their own companies, who gifted us with the best A&R ear out the game? Some examples: Kanye West gave us Kid Cudi, gave us Big Sean, gave us John Legend. Well, you got examples on the Pharrell side of things with the Clips, Khalees, and N.E.R.D. All groundbreaking music, all heavy chart-topping kind of music, all big radio type records from all these artists mentioned. So I asked you guys, sorry, Pete, hold on. I asked you guys, when it comes to the A&R ear, again, we know there's other people that work for the company that do the real A&Ring, but that's what being the president gets you, the right to be like, I did that. I made that happen. So when we're talking about A&R ears, which one of these guys did it best? Was it Star Trek? Was it Good Music? And if you can give us some examples, who do you got?
I want to say Ye because he had he bought out Pusha T.
You did? I knew, yeah. I forgot to mention Pusha shit.
Whoa. Hold on.
Oh, there is a little.
You about to make him take the shake out.
Boy.
Let me put this pen away.
He about to take the shake out.
Motherfucking breaks.
Wait. Let me hold on. Let me get some popcorn. I want to get some popcorn.
Pharrell had the clips, but
Pusha T is in the clips. What do you mean?
Yeah, Pharrell had the clips, but
if there was no
Triple C makes a valid point.
no Pusha T, and plus Pharrell is all over the Pusha T.
Listen,
album.
Pharrell worked Justin Timberlake, not in sync. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we just witnessed?
Triple C brings up a good point.
We just witnessed 2 grizzly bears fighting in the woods. You saw what that was?
The kids call it gaslighting. And
Yes.
Yes.
That was the gaslight.
That's what he did. That's what he did to me.
There was slapboxing in the woods.
Hell no, Triple C. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
You lost that one, man.
Listen, Triple C, respectfully, I'm gonna be the host for a second. Triple C, speak your mind.
Ye had Common.
You got Common, yeah, he absolutely had Common.
I wouldn't. No, I would say that's like a little brother. That's like a little brother. I'm sorry, P. Go ahead.
Well, no, she was saying Common is Common before Ye, but
yeah.
But P, respectfully, and I think we were both there at the same time.
Yeah, no.
That Common album brought Common back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go very much changed it, especially
Universal Mind Control. I loved, but it left people in a space that were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Hold on. Go ahead, P. I got something.
Say with Common, he gave him a lane, but it was more so like him working with a different producer. So if we're talking about A&R and taking the ear, whatever else, yes, obviously there's a I don't want to call it an elevation because it's not Common was Common, right? Mm-hmm. It just wasn't for the masses yet, right? It was for people who understood and heard with different ears.
Right.
It flipped. But on the other side of that, it became simplified. I hate Come Close. Come Close is my least favorite Common song I have ever heard. I'm sorry.
I love Come Close. It's so nice.
But it's
for real. I thought you was respectfully. I thought you was a female. You were gonna be like, I love that record. I was like, you're like, no.
You know better than that.
Nice.
I mean, even Mary. I mean, Mary on the hook. Like, come on.
Oh, you even give my daughter love.
It got the Banana Apple bum flow.
You know, like that shit. Like it was a poem somebody wrote on a napkin.
You said, "Are your eyes still green, girl?"
Yeah, and then she was to talk about. I mentioned the videos before. Then she was blind in the video, and they tried to make it this whole thing.
No, she was deaf. She was deaf. So you're not even giving her the right credit. If you go tear it down, tear it
That
down.
was a fire hook. That was a fire hook, man. Mary killed. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a dope record.
It was a good hook, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, simplified Common. It took out the sense from Common. That record.
He needs the radio record.
No. What took the sense out of Common was him messing around with Erykah Badu. That's what took the sense out of Common.
That gave him all the sense. I don't care. There's magic in that woman, and she can
Look,
the world
N.E.R.D.
so chooses. Okay.
She had that dude
Hey,
looking like
but
a hippie.
let's be clear here. Y'all mentioning Go and Come Close to Me. Did Kanye produce that song?
No, that was when he was on Star Trek for a second.
Okay.
So
Then there's that. But also, let's not discount Like Water for Chocolate, which came out before.
absolutely, Like Water for Chocolate. That's my shit. That's my shit. But it.
Comment on good music and what was Kanye, and that since we're talking about the artists that he moved and whatever else, that's why I was saying to me, Kanye doesn't get credit for Common in the same way. Like
You should.
We could leave Common out of that.
It's a different kind of thing.
I think he brought Common back. I think he gave Common another lifeline. I think Common was here. He was making noise.
But
no, he gave him another lifeline.
He wasn't going anywhere.
But when you talk about A&R and Kid Cudi was performing at my Life Open Mic live tracks, right? Like he was literally performing, and the next thing you know, a couple of weeks later, he's running around with Kanye West, and I was like, oh shit, that's dope. I just seen this guy, you know what I mean? And now he's all over TV and the HBO and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But even so, I wasn't feeling his music as it progressed, you know what I'm saying? So the good music thing, I understand where they're at and the vibe that they got as far as Kanye West as an A&R, but I think I would have to go with Pharrell as far as my vote on this one, as far as A&R. I think for me, it's knowing what Kanye West can produce, and maybe as an A&R, he's like, yo, I'm allowing you guys to do this and da-da-da, we're going to change the sound. And I don't like the way it's going, because Kanye West, crazy or not, is just a musical genius, I think, personally. So
Ye came out with Big Sean. Big Sean had the big hits.
But they both
produced.
We talking Big Sean. You talking Big Sean?
Hold on. I'm gonna let P say something, because I got something to say about that too. Go ahead.
We got beef with Big Sean? That happened?
Nah, Big Sean is dope. Big Sean is very underrated. Big Sean is very underrated. Big Sean is very dope. Very dope.
And he wrote for a lot of people on the low. So at the end of the day, I feel like Big Sean is
Kanye.
I don't like early Big Sean.
I appreciate that he had a vision, like, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna give the Midwest a spotlight in a way that I felt like they didn't when from early on, even though he didn't sign Twista, but putting Twista on and all those things. Like, I feel like he very much so gave his, like, okay, Midwest, whatever type of thing. Pharrell was curating a brand new sound on some next level spaceship, Star Trek, all the things that he was creating, and had a whole vision and a very clear sound behind it. The joke I made when you were talking, Jules, I said, oh, but who paid the people? And both of them have examples of not giving pay and or credit to their people. So on one end, we have Khalees, who most recently has had a lot to say about it, but you signed the deal you signed, and that's unfortunate that your music gets used in that way. It's trash that people do what's done unto them, and people's writing credits away from them. But that's the music industry, and that's the way it's going. Somebody took it from me, so I'm gonna take it from you, and so on and so forth. It's the circle of life. Cue baby lion cub in the air. But when it came to Kanye, the craziest thing that I heard was this whole Sunday service thing. So when Kanye, now instead of the good, and even though this is technically not on good music, I feel like it still counts because it's really his direction. He won the Grammy for contemporary gospel album. So at the end of the day, that's his vision and what.
Yeah. Okay. That should just made me sway my vote.
How you don't pay the choir? arranging and creating sound.
Because he didn't want to pull MC Hammer and like take care of fucking 100 people and shit. Like I'm not.
100 people. They weren't waiting on buses from the hood like MC Hammer will open.
I doubt he was making people get to where they got to go on their own dime. Like he's gonna make sure like everything that's needed for my shit will be taken care of. Your outfits look good, transportation to get there. You need some hair and makeup. We gonna make that. But like you said, like, pay you like it's me, baby.
Or like you see Kanye's fashion, put on this 50 shades of tan, and y'all get it.
They will do it. They'll fucking do it. They'll fucking do it. With that being said, I mean, do you fall anywhere on this A&R sort of debate here of like either guy?
If we're talking vision and all of that, definitely Pharrell. If we're talking, if we're talking, because I feel like he had it was a body of work in terms of, but to me, if we're talking about select talent,
whatever hill you want to stand on,
then I might say Kanye, because to me, Big Sean hit different. I'm sorry. It's just that.
Get me out the cul-de-sac. You can't have them both. Like, just pick one.
All right. So if that's the case, and we're talking about talent and all, and in terms of hits and fit factors, whatever ended up happening, then I have to give it to Ye. God damn it.
Oh shit. I mean, you initially voted for him to begin with when you jumped into the game.
Pusha T.
I am. Go ahead.
Hobo, please speak on it, because like I said, I got Ike's vote. I got Phenomenal P's vote. Where do you stand? I think I know where you stand, but I'd love to hear where you stand on this.
I am going with Pharrell because obviously the clips. I don't care what Triple C says. If there was no clips, there would be no motherfucking Pusha T.
He can stand on a Pusha T hill though, because Pusha T was even president of good music at one point.
Man,
okay, I don't care. But he didn't A&R that. Kanye didn't A&R that.
He has total say in putting him as president of the company.
Bro, that's like saying a dude dated a girl and then you started dating her and you found her first. That shit sound crazy.
We you know what? We could say that Kevin Durant was a superstar before he got to the Warriors.
He sure was.
That's what we can say in the reference of
he sure was.
Pusha T going and rocking with and rocking.
And I mean, but you're acting like Pusha T put out one album.
No, I'm not saying that.
With Star Trek, put out several. And let's also not, however you feel, if there was no Khalees, then we wouldn't have had the joint with Old Dirty Bastard.
We love Khalees. I mean, why are you coming at us?
If there was if there was no Star Trek, however you feel about it, we wouldn't have had the Robin Thicke joint.
We wouldn't have no Roscoe Pico chain.
He brought a burner into the club tonight, man.
I'm being sarcastic about Roscoe.
Roscoe Pico chain is dope, but we would have had no Slim Thug. Let's
Whoa. We wouldn't have had that single by Slim Thug. Thug was already a fucking platinum selling artist.
But he A&R'd that though.
His album was called Already Platinum.
We're talking A&R shit here though, no?
We are. No. Hobo has just corrected me. That was an A&R move. He literally did bring an indie artist out of Houston that was already doing his thing. That's all I was trying to clarify. Into a broader broader spotlight. And now Slim Thug is not just a Houston known name, is a well-known hip hop around the world name. And that fire, I mean that track they had together, what was that shit called? Dan. I ain't heard of that. I ain't heard of that. Hold on, we ain't played music in a second. I'm about to play that motherfucker.
Yeah, you can play that.
So what you're saying is that means that Kanye gets credit for Pusha T in the same way, right?
No, negative. Negative. Because the clips put out 4 albums on Star Trek. And I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench.
She was only messing with you, Hobo.
I know.
Gaslit you again, I guess.
I know. And I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. The Teriyaki Boys with the Tokyo Drift joint.
Ooh. Yeah, that's like a real that's some crate digging DJ shit right there.
What? Nah, that was on Fast and Furious. That was like the main song.
I don't take them out to eat. I ain't with a trick or treat. I ain't trying to fix your weed.
I ain't heard of that.
Pharrell figured out a way to make all his drums and everything sound so clean and hollow, but be his sound and so groovy and funky.
That was fire.
And
I forgot about that.
I don't like.
Do you have that song with Jadakiss and the Neptunes off the Star Trek album?
If it's on the Star Trek album, I can look it up. Hold on. I don't know this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You can thank me later. You have to thank me now. You can thank me later, though. Yes. Lights out the air. Lights out the air. Yes, you can thank me later.
They know it in the chat room. I see them talking about I didn't know this one. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that one.
What about Ye with Tiana Taylor?
Which one?
Good one. Good one. Good one, Triple C.
But she was working out. Man,
I don't know. What's the song called? Working Out?
I don't know, but that video was in fuego.
She's not even on the song. She in a video. Y'all some simple niggas. You
he said
that Tiana Taylor song.
Yo, Triple C.
He said, the one she's singing. The one she's singing. The one she's singing.
I was hoping that he was going to do better for us.
I love the way she sound on that record.
I was hoping he was going to do better for us. He was like,
her albums are dope.
Yeah,
which song are we talking about, Trip? Do you know? Or Hope, do you know which one he's talking about?
I don't, but I know the video.
Are we talking about the one with Method Man and all that?
Pablo.
That's dope.
Fade off
That's
of
one
Pablo.
I like.
That's what he's talking about. Fade off of Pablo.
Yeah.
Fade off of Pablo?
Fade off of Pablo. Off of Pablo.
Yeah, she's not on the song, but she is in the video.
Not all on the
She's not in the song at all.
Yo, don't you even said that, Hobo. That makes it look even worse.
but I mean,
it's Tiana. No. Triple C said Tiana Taylor. Be clear.
Yeah, but he directed her. He directed
Tiana Taylor.
Triple C, you really try to throw that shit down like a royal flush? Like I got two deuces or some shit. I got a pair of fours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like,
so wait a minute. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. So that's a perfect example talking about Tiana Taylor though, because she went from Star Trek.
Another one, yo.
Yeah, but
that's three.
Right, she was a youngin.
Yeah. See, you losing, man.
So I remember, Jules. Did you come to that party?
No, but I remember she was Star Trek.
Did that Google me, baby, that song, and I was like, oh, this girl's so pretty, and this is terrible. And
yeah, I remember that.
This girl's so pretty, and this is terrible.
Sorry about that. Yeah. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
I remember her from an episode of Sweet 16 on MTV.
Yeah, I remember.
Damn, I don't watch enough TV.
This was a long time ago, and I used to watch TV.
But then when she was signed, she was around in New York for a while doing events. And I remember that party night at Marquee. I don't remember who was responsible for that song, whatever. But I remember we went wherever there were free drinks. That was
always a good invite when you had the free open bar.
Oh yeah, that's always a good party.
But either which way, that was a transition for her being on good music, even though it took her going full indie to hit the way she needed to. Her participation on Kanye, My Beautiful Twisted, whatever the hell album, her backing vocals on that shit were kind of next level. Like, I feel like he got shit out of her that Pharrell never got out of her. And of course, she was a little bit older and developed too, but I think Kanye gets the win for that one. Like, he gets the credit for Tiana Taylor over Pharrell. Like, again,
if this is the hill you want to stand on, I would gladly put your vote down. I'm personally not a Tiana Taylor fan. I don't get the hype.
What?
I don't. I think she's okay. I think she's okay. I don't think she's that ill. I think I've heard way better singers than her. Couldn't name you a single except for the one that has the Wu-Tang on it. Like, that's the only one, and I don't even know the name of that one. But I like that record.
You're Gonna Love Me. That's the one. That one that has.
I like that record. I think that's a good record. I think, but again, it's
makes
also
you go back to the original. Smells.
I just think, like I said, it has more to do with the sample than it has to do with her per se. But again, I'm not knocking it. Again, people obviously very important people find her talented. Again, both these guys did. P putting their vote down for the Kanye side of things. I got Ike and Hobo on the Pharrell side of things. That leaves Cool Breeze and Triple C. What are you guys thinking?
I'm gonna go with Pharrell on this one.
Oh shit! Look at this. The man finally decides to stand up. Too bad Kanye had to die first. No, I'm just Cool Breeze. Well, I mean, I'd love to know why you're thinking Pharrell. What's on your brain? You voted Kanye initially.
Well, he already had some of the artists that Kanye was already working with.
They did share some artists.
So they kind of like made a pivot over to
Creepy pause.
Kanye. So I'm gonna say Kanye because I'm sorry, Pharrell. Sorry, Pharrell.
Oh,
Not both of them, Pharrell. Because as I stated, he already had some of the artists over on his label on Star Trek, and then some of them made a pivot, have single careers, or the single people that he had on his label kind of went over to good music. But I think there's a little bit more of I wouldn't say more of a sound, but more of a quality sound coming out of Pharrell when it comes to his artists than Kanye's artists, because he has a lot of artists over at his label that are just kind of sitting on the shelf.
Triple C.
No, I'm going.
No. Relax.
Yeah, with this one.
Kick your feet up. What's the rush?
Yeah.
You wasn't rushing to give your answer before. Don't rush to give your answer now.
That's right.
No. Would you like a beer? You thirsty? Would you like some snacks? Because your vote doesn't matter right now. You might as well just have a snack, Triple C.
True.
Triple C, I'm curious, just for shits and giggles, who do you got?
I'm going with Ye.
It don't matter.
Why are you going for Ye, Triple C? Let me know.
Yes, speak on it, young man. Speak on it.
The two grizzly bears should know why they're fighting in the woods.
Old Kanye worked with a lot of people. He developed a sound. He developed a lot of people that Pharrell probably couldn't reach.
Interesting. Wrapping things up with listen. We're gonna second Hobo, if you don't mind.
Hold on. Fuck no.
You see, they claw. I thought the fight was over. They still fight outside, Ma. They still fight outside, Ma. Look at these bears, Ma.
They talk about in the chat room. Apparently, Big Sean ain't as big as fucking the Clips.
No,
Big Sean is definitely not bigger than the Clips.
Yo, push your T, man. Push your T, dude.
Push your T.
Push your T. Push your T. Push your T. Period. Push your T.
That's the riot word. That's the riot word for the night.
No, don't forget about John Legend. Don't forget about John Legend.
Don't forget about it. Name one John Legend song, Triple C.
Word. Name one.
So can I give
Nice the night.
Triple C with the dope.
Hey yo.
Yo, you can't. You gotta walk away, Hobo. You gotta let him live on that.
Nah, man.
He say, they say in the chat room that you giving Ye credit for Charlie Wilson work. Is what they're saying.
All I'm gonna say, Ye gets no credit for Charlie Wilson.
But no, yes he does, because Charlie Wilson isn't. Listen, nobody else was putting except for R. Kelly. But after that, nobody was touching Charlie Wilson anymore.
Hold on.
No.
Who was?
Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson chose Kanye. Kanye didn't choose Charlie Wilson.
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
What are you talking about? Don't disparage Charlie Wilson like that. That's disrespectful. That's wild disrespectful.
Charlie Wilson is a legend.
Further to the whole piece of it, it's more about the Midwest thing, I think, with Charlie Wilson going with Ye. That's what I always took it as. But Charlie Wilson was still working, and he definitely was doing his own thing. And there were lots of other people.
Listen, I'm a Charlie Wilson fan.
Yeah. No,
it got a little quiet. And again, he was lucky to have a run like that based on the associations he was making in the 2000s. Yeah. Like I said, one was with R. Kelly. Regardless of whatever happened, they made good music together.
And Snoop
appearances. I mean, him on Snoop appearances as well.
Justin Timberlake used him backing vocals. Not that we give any credit to that fool, but just saying, all in the air. There's a lot around that, but I just feel like, can I give an unpopular opinion about John Legend? You don't get Tiana Taylor, and I think John Legend is a tremendous musician and a great writer, but his voice.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I can't Neil Diamond lounge singing. We're just ordinary people.
I feel the same way. I feel like he's very early Vegas. Like, we're here, your crooner, real,
Yeah.
We got to keep things pushing. The countdown is slowly coming, but we asked the question when it came down to the A&R ears of both these producers. We decided to look at what they sort of brought to the table, and a lot of examples were thrown up there. A lot of them that were chopped down when they were brought up. A lot of them were sort of raised and put on pedestals. But at the end of the night, we ended up coming to a conclusion, and it was by a small margin because most of the games were kind of one-sided. We are here to say, what's going on? I don't know what the fuck y'all laughing at. Are you still crooning? Is that what he was doing?
We're just ordinary people. Love you guys. We don't know which way to go.
Weren't we just talking about Sammy Davis? We were just talking about Sammy Davis, I feel like not that long ago.
Boing, boing.
Hey, Ye,
Boing boing, baby.
Boing, boing.
Boing boing.
it made Ye made Taylor Swift hot.
Oh, see, now
come
you
on.
got jokes.
I'm just joking.
They'll get you in the comments, Triple C, but it's a good way to get some bait going. I'm not gonna lie. Wrapping up the A&R. Wrapping up the A&R ear question, we decided to put up against, like I said, which one of these guys brought the best thing to the table when it comes to the A&R abilities. And it looks like at some point in the time, most of the majority of the room ended up going with Pharrell Williams. So this round goes to P, Skateboard P, that is. And it looks like we are officially tied up on the board with Kanye having 2 on the board and Pharrell having 2 on the board. Moving on to round number 4, we're going to try to get this one through this one a little quickly. Based on just the conversation we've been having tonight, you know what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the producer side of things. It's a simple question. If you decide to make it simple, no need to debate too long. We got to wrap things up soon, and we still have the round number 5 to go to. So I asked the gentleman and the lady in the room, plain and simple. You could even base this on your first initial vote when you first walked into the room. Who's the better producer? We've been talking about different styles all night. One of the things that we didn't get mentioned, I just want to kind of throw this out there since we were talking about styles. Triple C, just to rebuttal something you said as far as like Pharrell not being able to reach a certain kind of artist. Be clear, Pharrell is all in his pop bag. I ask, does Kanye have a pop bag? I don't really think so.
Yeah, true, but I mean,
he's working with Rihanna. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's got a couple. I just think that Pharrell, when he gets in his pop bag, he gets in his pop bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, that was just because I've been holding that one in since we were talking about that earlier. But again, the overall question is, who's the better producer? You know which styles we're talking about. Who's your favorite?
I'm gonna answer this one real quick. Pharrell. Also, to rebuttal Triple C just because the bear is still fighting in the woods. Rump shaker. And
shout out to my man Ty Fife on that one, man. Hold on a second. Exactly. Shout out to Ty Fife on that one.
Exactly. And to go to Jules' point, the songs that Pharrell has with Gwen Stefani, P, however you feel about Justin Timberlake, the songs he has with Justin Timberlake, that album was fire.
The pop bag, but it was a good record.
Good album, a great album. It was well done. I won't take that away.
So I'm going with Pharrell.
Makes sense. Okay, like I said, so we see Hobo's point of view. P, only because you just started to speak up right now. If we could briefly, I know you want to expand.
Short answer, Kanye. Reason is because I feel like Pharrell replicates sound more often than Kanye. So you get more Pharrell tracks out of different artists that sound very similar than you get Kanye tracks out of other artists that sound exactly the same. It's more the copy and paste, tweet a little, go for it.
I can see your point.
How I received it, I respect the pop bag 100%. On a drunk night, it's a good time, but it's not 100% my vibe. So I feel like I appreciate more of the range of Kanye and what I get. It's not that he knocks it out the park every time, but neither does Pharrell. Pharrell did the dumbest thing ever by trying to contest on Blurred Lines to the family of Marvin Gaye. So that's
touchy. That was a touchy one. We're not going to touch on that because that's a touchy one. That's a super touchy one. But listen, real quick, I pose a question to our listeners and everybody in the chat room and anybody wants to leave any comments. Something that you just kind of brought up in terms of, we talked about Justin, we're talking about Kanye having his own version of a pop kind of bag, and then a certain sound that you just mentioned that the Neptunes kind of fiddle with that we can kind of recognize. I asked the guys in the room, not so much P because you kind of brought this up, can you guys recognize a Kanye production without hearing who's on it? You can sometimes do the math like that sound like, yeah, sure, maybe that is Kanye, but can you tell a Kanye? I know I can definitely tell a Neptune's one to a certain.
I think that's why my vote goes with Kanye West on this one. Fair enough. It goes with the.
That's not a bad thing, by the way, either. Some people work years to get a signature like that's Neptune's. You know what I'm saying?
But this is why I said he's a hip hop producing genius. I think because to hear his work, his early work with Talib Kweli and this, that, and the third, and for him not to get that credit. And for him not to get that credit, and then for where he started to rock with Jay-Z, it became a well-known name, and then his own albums, the production that he did for his own albums, you know what I mean? And I just like the Otis record. I don't like that Otis record, but that Otis record is a big record. So I'm definitely gonna go with Ye as the better producer. That's not saying anything bad about Pharrell. I still want to be able to come down to Virginia, hobo. You know what I mean? Still want to be able to hang out. See, look. See.
Oh, you good. I'm just gonna add on just real quick. Right now, on the radio, Pharrell has one of the hottest songs out right now, production-wise.
What's that?
Kanye does not.
Which is the record?
The joint with 21 Savage and Tyler the Creator.
Oh yeah. And he had a big record with Lil Uzi Vert. I found out about today as well.
I don't know what it's called, but it's hot. And he produced That Dope by Future. I know it's a few years older, but
also worked with Kendrick on that Good Kid, Mad City.
Also worked with Kendrick on that joint. And Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
I think they both dabbled with the newer crowds as well. I mean, Kanye with Schoolboy Q. Did Kendrick ever do anything?
Schoolboy Q is dope. I think. No, I'm not sure. I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't remember if they did. But that's to say all that, and you're right, hobo, for the 21 Savage record and everything like that. But that's also. I might not be a fan of good music like that, but I can't sit here and deny what good music has done. And I know Kanye West has had his hand in the production of good music. You know what I mean? So
listen, just to add on to something you mentioned earlier about Kid Cudi, I wasn't a believer. I've seen a documentary recently that changed my. Kid Cudi is like the Kanye to certain people. Like he is like Messiah to some people. Like some people really live and die Kid Cudi. Like
I know.
Kanye signed him for a reason. He saw the potential, almost on a Travis Scott kind of vision. I see Travis Scott as the next Kanye. Period.
I know we're trying to wrap it up, but I'll tell you that because I had to go back. I was going through my photos and I realized like I had a picture of Kid Cudi's mug all up in my camera, and I was like, I knew I recognized that guy because I'm horrible with names. But when he was performing at our open mic, when Kanye West, and when I saw he was rocking with Kanye West, I was like, wow. Because I did see Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi used to, the performances he was putting on at Life Open Mic was something ridiculous, you know? And then when he went to Kanye West, I was like, damn, I didn't really necessarily become a fan of his music after that, but to see where he had took him, I was like, wow.
Nah, he's responsible for a lot of Kanye's big melodic stuff.
In the pop side of things, Kanye did work with Mariah. Kanye did work on the Press Play album. Kanye definitely did. It was on Emancipation of Me. So there were some touches.
You said Press Play? You talking about Diddy?
Yeah, that was pop. That was that album won pop?
I guess. That had the Christina Aguilera shit, right?
Yes. And all of, yeah. Very.
Hey, listen, we gotta keep it moving. But yes, you're right. He definitely got in his pop bag as well, and that's the beauty of the debate. Like I said, it could even be brought to this particular question. So, Breeze, when we're talking about overall production, does the pop bag matter to you? Don't even answer it. It's okay. But who do you got when it comes down to the producer side of both these guys?
Slight edge. I'll say Pharrell. Slight edge.
Look at this. Another rare situation. Cool Breeze, only because I want to keep it pushing real quick. Triple C with the rare comeback, your own rebound. Even I know what that means. Your own rebound. Your vote didn't mean shit earlier. Now, easily could split this fucking round right here with what you bring to the table. Triple C, when it comes down to production, Kanye, Pharrell, who do you got?
I'm going with Ye production because
look at this. Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Because Ye, he goes for the soul samples.
He do. I love me a good soul sample.
Yeah, but Pharrell plays his own music.
Yeah, but something about a soul sample sometimes it's just like.
And Ye know how to choose with samples. Remember Cam during the Cam said he wanted a Ye beat so bad that he tried to chase him down for a beat.
Kind of did. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up with round number 4. Triple C, thank you for that.
Cameron also keeps computers putin, so
we asked about Kanye versus Pharrell. We asked a simple question, kind of basic. Who is the overall better pick as far as production? And it took a little while, but we got here, and it looks like it was pretty divided. Triple C adding the final last-minute scoring vote here, and we got Kanye West being the winner of this particular round, putting him up ahead 1 point ahead of Pharrell, so it's 3-2 at the moment. Going into round number 5, I didn't even think we were going to get this far, because sometimes we wrap things up by like sort of a round number 4, so I didn't put much effort into round number 5 these days because we've been kind of cutting things short at round number 4. But there is a round number 5. Fear not.
We don't have to do that.
What you mean?
He's winning. Yeah, he's winning.
Oh, that's why Triple G got money on the. How much money you put? How much money you got in the game? How much I'm seeing. So, I wanted to ask a question that I think still, if you hear me out, relates to music. When we're talking about Kanye West versus Pharrell Williams, there's no denying their impact on anything culture related. We're talking about music, and we're also talking about fashion. So let's talk real quick about who had the biggest impact on fashion, which affected the music overall down the line. We could look at skateboards, P's sort of skateboard persona, which let little boys and girls from every race and color dress up without being all baggy for once, at a point in time when everything was baggy. And then you had, Kanye's influence to the point now where people are wearing holes in their shirts on purpose. So they both had an impact on fashion. That whole dressing sweater vibe is a whole emo rap category in itself. Your Little Uzis, and that next generation got influenced by both these guys. Your Tyler's was created, Tyler was created.
I see what you did there.
Was influenced by that. So again, I asked you guys who had the biggest impact on fashion, which you guys know in turn affected the music down the line. Because they've both been around for literally, like we said, decades. Both these gentlemen are older, look great for their age. But again, who had the biggest impact on fashion because of the impact it had on the music down the line?
Yeah,
Pharrell got a skincare line. Leave it at that.
Yo, that shit looks dope too. I'm not gonna lie. The human race shit. I like most of Pharrell's clothing side of things more than Kanye's.
Kanye's clothes are trash, like trash. Kanye's clothes
he got everybody dressing like a cult.
Kanye's clothes are trash.
Pharrell
got a skin. Kanye.
I already know what you're gonna say, Bree. Shut up.
Hold on.
Kanye's clothes are trash.
I said it.
Pharrell got a skincare line, and don't forget Billionaire Boys Club, which is
Listen, Hobo. You said this man has a cucumber coconut face scrub.
He does. He does.
What is
he
that?
does. He does.
I didn't know the details. I didn't know the details.
It sounds interesting, though.
What does skincare have to do with fashion?
Yo, because Pharrell is like 50, looking like he's 24.
All encompassing.
It's got a lot to do with it. It's got a lot to do with it, man.
That's genetic.
I'm gonna have to just vote Pharrell. One, it's a cleaner look. Two, them flipping Yeezys and them foam whatever shits that they walking around in now. I so despise and disgust them shits, man. Yo, give me a pair of Wallabies and I'm out, bro. Yo. It's Pharrell in this one for me, man. Fuck it.
Fair enough.
Straight up.
Put it down for Team Pharrell. Anybody else feeling Pharrell's team?
And Pharrell, and don't forget Pharrell put everybody onto the debates, man. Let's be real.
The man definitely pushed the call. I mean, both gentlemen did this. Let's like I said, but you talking facts right there. You talking facts.
Pharrell pushed the Babes and the Billionaire Boys Club, which looks way better than any Kanye clothes item.
You don't want that no more. You don't hear about Ye stuff.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You hear about Ye's shoes. You don't hear about his clothes because them shits is trash.
They literally put him in trash bags.
Into what P said, they literally put them in a trash bag because them shit is basura, bro.
Mm-hmm. And he brought out the Spanish. Now I know you're a baseball coach.
Keywords. Okay, so we got Ike and Hobo. P, what do you? It sounds like I know you're getting cut off. I apologize about that, but sounds like you got something to go on and say. Speak on it, sis.
I feel like Kanye doesn't even, as much as he wants to be the fashion guru that he thinks he is, he doesn't rate in this way of like having an influence on the culture in the same way. I think niggas was wearing holy clothes because they were going back to the 90s grunge look, and he just found a way to capitalize on a resurgence of an old fashion. Okay. I think he hopped on the off-white shit. I think Kanye, up until this recent trend, dressed like a broke promoter. Like, that was my vision of what he does. Like, yeah, he gave broke promoter vibes in his fashion sense. So
janky promoter vibes.
And then just took the ugliest part of the foam posits and made it a whole shoe. I don't know. I don't rate him on any part of the fashion. So I feel like in terms of influencing the culture and all of that, it's an easy win on Pharrell for me.
And when those foam things get dirty, man, they look even worse. Somebody was walking in front of me today at work, and they was like dirty. I was like, ugh.
But
like,
that's rich people shit. You're supposed to dress poor, but only wear it once. It just doesn't even make no.
That might have been a distressed on purpose look. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it pushing. So we got Ike and Hobo's vote. P, what are you thinking right now? So you're saying Kanye? Let me see what you're saying. Pharrell? What you saying?
Pharrell.
She's saying Pharrell. Tell you the bus is swerving, y'all.
Yo, Pharrell was doing it even with the thin, creepy mustache at one point. Breeze and Triple C. What are you guys thinking?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Kanye because it's just like people are fiending for them sneakers and those skeleton shoes.
They do. They go hard for them shits.
Yeah, those joints, they look like, I don't know what they look like, sort of like a unfinished shoe mixed with I don't know, man. They just look weird. They look like an alien.
But you're voting for them.
Yeah, but people buying it.
People voting for their impact.
Have you seen the Pharrell joints? The
Adidas?
Yeah, what's the name of his shit again?
Human races. The human races.
Human race. Yeah, them shit. I'm not into like the sock thing, but his shits look fly.
I like them, but I'm talking about from what I see. I see people wearing more of the Yeezy sneakers.
That falls into the whole cult following behind Ye. Besides that's more influence than it is fashion. I can't believe I'm about.
But that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point of the question.
I walked in a fashion show. I walked in a fashion show once before. You know what I mean? Influence and what looks good is two entirely different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I could put something on that looks trash on, let's just say Jules, but it looks same trash on me, but I walk different. That's an influence of the fashion. It's still trash.
Yeah, but that has to do with life too. The cool kids walk different and look different. You know what I mean? But like,
it's still trash. That Pharrell, the Pharrell's clothing line, like Hobo was saying, the billionaire, the T-shirts.
Oh, I'm in agreement. I'm not a Kanye fan.
You know what I mean?
Pharrell has longer. Kanye's up in this. It's a much shorter window. Pharrell has had the influence for way longer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Kanye West is fashion for
clothing
different
pushed
people.
him to be a billionaire.
Yeah, and then the thing is, that's a fact. And then the thing is, he has collaborations with Gap, Louis, Adidas, Nike. Pharrell doesn't have all that.
What are you talking about? Pharrell has with Adidas and Chanel. Let's be clear.
So I just named
Pharrell has clothes with Chanel. Kanye don't have clothes with Louis.
But that's something with what's that stuff about that Kim Kardashian wears? The Balenciaga or something. Can't even say it.
The Balenciaga? What did you say?
I don't know what the hell that is.
You said the biscuits and what?
Triple C keeps it champion hoodie all year round.
Champion hoodie and Carhartt, son.
Champion hoodie and Carhartt. You never know where the burner is at. You never know where it's at.
I'm an old head. I still rock. Look, summertime Air Force Ones, whites, fall-time black. Black Air Force Ones.
Black means you about to do something wrong out there. You better keep
only thugs wear black Air Force Ones.
The black ones is fire though. Black ones.
Listen,
the black ones.
You wear those joints, you gotta feel angry. Don't wear those joints. Gonna start fighting and bullying people.
That's when the Tupac can be come out. You know what I mean? That's the illest shit I wrote in '94. You understand?
That's when the jukes is about to happen when you put the black joint on.
Don't do that. You walk into the corner store, they gonna think it's a jukes. No. These dumb shit.
But Balenciago is going in. Balenciago's is going in my book though. That one.
Got to.
We're wrapping up round number 5, and it had to happen with Triple C. I know your vote is in the air. Huh?
I said yay.
Yeah, it don't matter. Your vote don't matter. It's just another statistic. Another statistic. You know what I'm saying? You didn't vote fast enough. I'll put your vote down. I'll put your vote down. I'll put Triple C.
Today.
Oh, I find that offensive for some reason. They're Triple C for today. But Triple C, we'll put your vote down. We'll put your little vote down. But long story short, when we were talking about who had the biggest impact on fashion, which in turn ended up affecting the music down the line, it looks like it was not a one-sided event, but it eventually leaned one way, and it goes like this round goes to Pharrell, leaving him to tie up against Kanye West. We're officially at a tie. This shit throws me for a loop because, like I said, it's crazy. We rarely come to ties around here. Luckily, your man Jules DJ came up with a tie-breaking question for such a situation as this, which we're going to get right into. And I got to read it carefully because it has to do with both these gentlemen.
Swerving, man.
It has to do with both these gentlemen having ghost credits. I'll leave it at that.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about who had the better, more legendary credit when it came to these two historical hip-hop joints. Was it Kanye's Ghost production, All About the Benjamins, where we can verify D-Dot talks about this in interviews. He was involved with the production of that record. He brought the sample to the table. And D-Dot says he diddied the record for him, you know, sort of like, he gave me that, I made it this. Regardless, some Ghost credit. He didn't get no credit for that. Huge record, All About the Benjamins. Or was it, and someone mentioned this record a little earlier, was it Pharrell's appearance as a ghostwriter for your man Teddy, hit you with the 1-2 record, Rex is in effect, Rump Shaker.
Nah.
Chicken like that, you know what I'm saying? So we have two early hip-hop joints that have some early sprinkling from both these guys. Who had the better, I use my finger airs in the quotes. If you're listening on the audio side, my finger quotes are finger in, pause. Yeah, pause. Air pause.
Leave the fingers out of it. Air.
I got my quotes in the air. I'm quoting. Who had better ghostwriting credit or ghost production credit? Pharrell or Kanye? Who do you got? All About the Benjis versus Rump Shaker, pretty much.
The remix for the Benjis? The original one.
Technically, any version of it except for the rock version. And maybe there's a reggae version. I don't know if that one counts either.
Hobo's screen froze up. What is he doing?
Sounds to me like he's putting his initial vote down.
Shout out to my man Ty Fife, man. Shout out to my man Ty Fife, man. Oh, shit, this is a tough question. This is a tough question, man.
It's very easy for me. This is my vote.
Hobo says for Pharrell. This is a very difficult one. I think this is the toughest one of the night. Easily.
The first song versus song situation.
It gotta be Rump Shaker.
Triple C putting the first vote down.
Rump Shaker because.
Well, actually, the second vote. Hobo was loud and clear.
You can't deny. You can't deny when the ladies shake. So.
Yo, Rump Shaker, as big as a record as Benjamin's is, New York wise, hip hop wise, period.
No, the Benjis was a staple instrumental at one point.
Yo, but Rump Shaker, that's a different time period. That's launching everybody's damn near career. You know what I'm saying?
Never heard from those guys again.
No, I'm talking about the influence from that record. Whether you partied with that record, wanted to make a record sounding something like that. You know what I mean? That's a huge, and we're talking about, if you've never heard anything from those guys again, we're talking about that one record.
I think that sound existed, and I think that sound was recreating because it was already the Freaknik culture. It was already it was sand, right? Like so that already existed.
It was early 90s. You're right.
Early.
The thing I have to think about it when we think about the influence of sound and Pharrell ghost writing, right? And his
young teenager.
Right. As a young teenager, the production stamp of a Teddy Riley style is still very much so heard on that record versus what D-Dot's contribution may or may not have been on the Benjamins. If we think of the Diddy style of things, I would conclude that Ye did more work. That's where I'm balancing the two in terms of
that's the hill you're standing.
More work the part that made the record memorable, that made it hit the way that it hit. Because
that Benji's hits hard, dude.
Yeah.
And so in terms of both of those records hit super hard, I have equal reactions to hear either one of those records, from the horns on Rump Shaker to the
those horns are legendary too, though.
Right,
exactly. Those are legendary horns.
When I hear that,
do you think Jay-Z first, or do you think Rump Shaker first? Whenever you hear the horns,
I think Rump Shaker.
Oh, Rump Shaker first, because
I think it's too deep. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
What?
Y'all remember that? DJ Scandalous knows. I know he DJ Scandaless knows.
I hear that this thing about booty shaking. That's always gonna win. That's always gonna win.
The same way Fade was a Tiana Taylor song. The same way Fade is now a Tiana Taylor song. That's what it is. He said that Tiana Taylor song. Oh, Fade, yeah. Where she doesn't say anything. Yeah, sure. That's her song.
Triple C, what is your vote? Are you sticking to Rump Shaker, Triple C?
Yeah, I'm sticking to Rump Shaker.
Oh my goodness, Triple C. Cool Breeze.
So he's standing on.
Before you end up in the breeze, which way would you like to vote on this particular topic? All About the Benjis. They even named a movie after it. Or Rump Shaker. Again, Harlem in the building.
I will say Benji's because I like the remix better a little bit, but both of them were dope. But the remix with Big, when the beat changes up, and you can still throw that on right now, and I think it'll give more of a harder impact than Rump Shaker. You listen to Rump Shaker, but the Benji's hits just a little different.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, I think someone pointed out earlier too. It's 2 different eras, but you're right. I think.
Yes, hold on. Yes.
Well, needless to say, I guess that record, right, that Rump Shaker record, started the domino effect for what's now known as, what's the name of that festival that they throw every year?
No, they don't do Freaknik no more.
No, not Freaknik. I'm talking about the Pharrell Festival. What's it called?
Something in the Water.
Something in the Water Festival. There you go. And that all stems from like that little moment right there. So that's kind of cool. Thank you for your vote there, Breeze. Ike Infamous, it boils down to you, my brother. It looks like when we're talking about the deciding factor on which one of these gentlemen will win the Who Do You Got game tonight, it all comes down to you. Talking about All About the Benjis, Ghost production from Kanye and D-Dot taking most of the shine away, versus Pharrell's involvement as the ghost writer on Uncle Teddy's rap on Rump Shaker.
So you say he's a ghost writer? You're not a ghost producer, then?
Well, as I said, which is more important to you guys? Was it his ghost writing or was it Kanye's ghost producing? Like which? They're both legendary records.
Oh, I'm going producing. I'm going with Kanye.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Kanye
Whoa! The votes are changing now. Hold on, what's going on? Okay, so okay.
That's what I said. Okay.
Look at this trumping going on right here. You talk about Ivy gerrymander. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Yeah. So, real quick.
Hobo just got an interception and he tight.
Talking about who had. This is exactly what it looks like. Looking like an upset coach. Listen.
He looked like an upset coach.
This is why I said ghost credit. I didn't say production, and I didn't say ghost writing. I said ghost credit. Who gets the best ghost credit? Because Kanye had the ghost production on All About the Benjis. So his involvement in All About the Benjis production, or is it about I mean, let's be clear. Everybody knows Teddy's verse from fucking Rump Shaker. I kind of know the other guy's verses too, but that's the verse that I know that's the verse I look forward to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the most almost like important verse from the most important member of that group, right? By Pharrell, a young 17-year-old high school student at this point.
So listen, this is my vote. I voted Kanye West. I'm gonna vote Pharrell on this round because we're saying ghost credit, and I just think that Rump Shaker just has a longer, way more legendary history than the Benjamins. And I'm not saying the Benjamins doesn't have it, but you know, it's 2 different eras. You're talking about 2 different time periods, and the influence from that Rump Shaker record for how long. I ghost credit, I'd have to say Pharrell on this one.
Do you think they gave it that longevity though? Do you think it's the lyrics that made that song such a standout for so many years?
No, but
was the video?
But that's just it. When you say when you're saying based on Ghost credit, you're saying credit period, right? We're talking about a legendary record since the early 90s. When did Benjamins come out?
90s. 97, 90.
97, like years later. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the credit to Benjamins is not something of otherworldly, but the credit Rump Shaker, the Ghost credit of Rump Shaker from where it stood, how big of a record was, the influence over everything, video wise, party wise. If you was up here in New York and you're a shorty little ass like me, and you ain't never been down to no party in VA, and you see that video, you're like, damn, I want to. It's just like Triple C. I want to put my Timbs on and go party around the Rump Shaking. You know what I mean? So
yeah, real quick. So does anybody want to change their vote? I mean, I got Ike's vote down. Does anybody want to change their vote?
Man, yeah. No,
I got you. You said Pharrell. But Trip, you said you were possibly thinking about changing your vote. What are you leaning towards?
Oh man, yeah, I'm going. Yeah, because I changed me around again. So
wow, pause. But okay, what do you mean? So
Tim's on the beach. Tim's on
the beach. The Rump Shaker, Harlem in the building, Harlem Invading VA.
Those words would not have hit if not on that beat. Those words would not. No, I'm just saying those words would not have hit on that beat. Other words could have hit on that beat. So I respect the influence and participation in a legendary song, but in terms of the participation level, Kanye, in my estimation, far supersedes on a contribution level on All About the Benjamins, which was iconic. Again, different zones versus Pharrell's 1-2 check is in effect, and I'm the wrecker. There could have been a million
and the chorus.
We don't know about the chorus.
And DJ Scandalous brings up a very good point in the chat. Pharrell got plaques for that song. Kanye got nothing.
Ooh.
But so does the get credit for it? I mean, and whether you get credit for it or not takes away from the talent of it. Because if that's the case, there's a lot.
We're not here to designate how that credit got distributed.
Yeah.
I would.
We just happen to have the knowledge that this is what it went down.
I would rebut that with, it is proven fact that Pharrell contributed to Rump Shaker. It is conjecture and hearsay that Kanye contributed to.
D-Dot admitted it. I think there's a whole thing about him that kind of confessed, but he makes Kanye's.
Did he confess to Vlad? Did he confess to Vlad TV?
It might have been. I guess I can't remember what it was on.
No,
that don't count.
Vlad
don't count.
Vlad TV is the feds, and he knows how to get answers out of people.
Absolutely. If you know anything, man, you know what he about.
Hobo Matlock won.
Oh shit!
His argument.
Listen, we gotta wrap things up here. So luckily, like I said, we had a little tie-breaking question. Like I said, because it went the full round tonight, even longer than we expected. Thank you for sticking around with us tonight. Everybody in the chat room, thanks for hanging out. Philly the Kid, DJ Scandalous, Black Moses. If I miss anybody else good looking, Malcolm Tenton's in there. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We're gonna wrap things up here. When we decided to talk about Ghost credit, whose is more important, we decided to put up Kanye's Ghost production in the All About the Benjamins saga. If you know, you know. Go ahead and do your Googles. And we decided to put it up against Pharrell's 16-bar, ready for the 1-2 checker. Again, 17-year-old dropping a verse for Teddy over on Rex and Effect. The Room has given this vote. Keep in mind, whoever wins this round is the winner overall. The winner tonight is Skateboard P. Make some motherfucking noise for Pharrell swiping up the board tonight. Putting it down. Human Race. Hobo, do you want to accept this order on his behalf?
I would gladly accept on behalf of Pharrell, who cannot be here tonight. Senior, stand the fuck up.
So what is the award? Is it a tight Billionaires Boy Club jacket?
Hey,
tight.
They have a nice New York Yankees Billionaire Boys jacket that is pretty fire for those New York people.
No, so be clear, Pharrell makes some dope gear. Like I said, I personally like it better than Kanye's gear.
I'll look it up, Hobo.
Don't do it to yourself. That shit's too expensive.
It's expensive, but it's really dope.
I'm sure it is. I like a lot of their stuff.
He lives up to the name.
Yeah, again, expensive stuff. But again, we do this every Monday night, live here on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Eats, Beats, and Rhymes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please check us out on YouTube as well. We're dropping episodes every week. Check us out there. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Thanks to everybody who's been tuning in. We decided tonight to put up 2 legendary producers / icons / movers of the culture. It was Kanye West versus Pharrell Williams. And after a long 6-round debate, we came to the conclusion that Pharrell, a.k.a. Skateboard P, does he have another a.k.a.? A.k.a. I got it like that. I want it like that. I got it. Your man Pharrell came through
Yes.
and shut it down with the party tracks. VA stand up, 2 up, 2 down. It's probably backwards on my screen, but whatever. Listen, I want to thank everybody for coming out. The beautiful, phenomenal Pete. Thank you so much for joining us again tonight. Thank you very much. We know you're a very busy person. Thank you for finding the time. Always dropping the jewels on us. Ike Infamous, my man DJ Hobo, my man Cool Breeze, Triple C Not So Social, aka Triple C. We will see each other next week again when we do this one more again with another fine battle. Shout out to everybody in the chat room who stays with us, and I can't believe you guys tune in at 8 p.m. with us. Even when we go late, like we did tonight, you guys still hang out in there. I fucking love it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it
all the time, every Monday. Don't forget, you guys can also catch up on previous episodes with a new little flair on them at YouTube, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes, one word. Again, another episode of Who Do You Got? Thanks so much for tuning in. Everybody, have a great night. Talk to you guys soon. Phenomenal Pete, thank you. All the fellas, thank you. And everybody, God bless. Take care, everybody. One.
Peace,
Peace.
guys. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.